Sergeant Ellison was a trailblazer, assuming supervisory responsibilities at a time when equal treatment among the ranks was not assured. His accomplishments proved him to be a pioneer and a role model.
Well, there wasn't that many blacks that were on the police force at that time.
I wasn't that close to my grandfather because he was always mean. I thought he was mean, but as I look at it now, that's what we need more of.
It was Chief Emmett Jones who hired Douglas back in 1946.
Wow.
He hired the first black officer and your father, your grandfather. And he was promoted to sergeant in 1967. As you can see, we have 88 uniformed police officers and 18 detectives in the back. If you look at the ranks,
Yes, sir.
it's all white males.
Yes.
And we have one African American officer. Well, the city of Richmond saw a huge increase of population during World War II. People that worked in the shipyards, people that worked at the Ford plant, came here from all over the country, including the South. And that brought a rich diversity. That was the time where our police department realized they needed to expand from about 40 officers to over 100. And that did happen very quickly. Unfortunately, we can see by looking at the photographs that our department was almost entirely Caucasian males, which at that time seemed to be acceptable. But what we know is that to be effective in law enforcement, you need to reflect the community needs to work with you and trust you. Lonnie Washington was the first officer hired in 1944, and Douglas Ellison was hired in 1946. He was a supervisor of a core group of officers of probably 10 officers who were all white. And so if you go back to 1967, with the political climate and what was socially acceptable, to visualize Sergeant Ellison in roll call talking to all white officers, and that was what this department was pushing forward. That is leading the foundation for the diversity that we have today.
No, well, it's great to be here, and it's great
No,
that we
it's
can
great.
spend a little time together this morning. Deputy Chief Medina was sort of doing some looking through some of our historical documents and realized that Sergeant's family was still around Richmond, that you all are doing well, and that he really was a
He's a
very
great
important
man.
part of our department. Sergeant Douglas Ellison's service was important and groundbreaking for the community.
Thank you very much, Chief.
Thank you.
Very much.
It's really an honor and a pleasure.
Thank you, Chief.
You bet.
I'll hand this, I'm going to read this to her.
Oh, okay.
We were looking at the history of our department, and obviously your husband, Douglas Ellison, is recognized as a very important role model and somebody who was a sergeant and very like a pioneer for the department. And so the chief of police wanted to write an acknowledgement of that. I want to read it to you and present you with this. Sergeant Douglas Ellison's service is an important and groundbreaking gesture for the community. Today, the Richmond Police Department reflects the wonderful diversity of the Richmond community. He would be proud to say he was a Richmond police officer. The Richmond Police Department greatly appreciates Sergeant Ellison and his family for what they have done to make Richmond and the Richmond Police Department a better place.
Oh, that's not all
Thank you
right.
very much.
All right.
So here you go.
Well, by him being born and raised here, it would be a lot of fun to him to talk about it.